In recent weeks, the world has been captivated by secret talks and risky diplomacy aimed at ending the relentless conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Rumors swirl that powerful nations are desperately trying to broker peace, but can they truly stop the chaos? Meanwhile, on the front lines, a different battle unfolds, one of technology, strategy, and high-stakes precision strikes. Imagine the thunderous boom of missiles and the whine of drones slicing through night air. Just days ago, Ukrainian forces launched a daring attack that could change the course of the war. They targeted Russia's most critical air defense components with surgical accuracy, destroying a key missile launcher and radars that shield Russian skies. These hits reveal a new, alarming phase of the war where disrupting enemy defenses becomes a game-changing weapon. What are these weapons they struck? The S-300V missile system, a formidable fortress of layered protection, worth millions. Not the newest tech, but still deadly and vital for Russia's air dominance. This system's job is to defend against aircraft, missiles, and ballistic threats, covering borders and key military targets. Yet, Ukrainian drones managed to disable this system in just one night, in the war-torn landscape of Donbass. The target? An elite missile launcher, known among NATO experts as the giant protector of Russia's airspace. On the moment of impact, it was actively defending Russian territory, making its destruction a devastating blow. The attack didn't stop there. Drones also obliterated 2 radar stations, silent eyes that track and lock onto enemies hundreds of miles away. Why does hitting these radars matter? Because in war, information is power. Disabling radars cripples the enemy's ability to detect, track, and shoot down incoming threats. It's like blinding your opponent in a chess match. Suddenly, their defenses become hollow. And this is not just a small skirmish. The S-300V, stored across Russia's defenses, is a colossal machine. It's a part of a family of long-range systems designed to defend against every aerial threat in the sky: aircraft, cruise missiles, and even ballistic projectiles. Though not the newest, it remains highly valued, worth tens of millions, and still a backbone of Russia's layered security. Ukrainian forces, with relentless ingenuity, have turned their drones into precision scalpel. They aim to chip away at Russia's defenses, piece by piece, rendering what once seemed invincible more fragile than ripe cheese. Every destroyed radar, every lost missile launcher, weakens Russia's grip on the skies. But what's the bigger picture? Can Ukraine's daring strikes even the odds against a superpower's military machine? Or are they just the beginning of a new chapter, one where technology, strategy, and sheer guts redefine the battlefield? The war continues, and each new strike reveals an unsettling truth. In this fight, control of the air isn't guaranteed, and Ukraine's brave defenders are proving they can strike back where others thought immunity existed. Recent strikes have targeted Russia's vital air defense components in the Donbass region, revealing a troubling vulnerability. An attack on a Russian S-300V missile launcher and 2 radar stations has exposed how Ukraine's precision drone strikes are systematically dismantling Russia's layered air defenses. Could this be the turning point that shifts control of the skies? On November 29, Ukrainian combat drones unleashed a coordinated nighttime assault. The footage released by Ukrainian Defense Intelligence shows a devastating blow to Russia's most critical and costly systems. The target was a vibrant, active missile launcher, an essential part of the Soviet-era S-300V system, destroyed in a flash of light amid the darkness. The missile system, worth millions, is designed to fend off everything from aircraft to ballistic missiles. Losing such a key asset is a heavy blow, but the attack didn't stop there. 2 radar stations, integral to tracking and guiding missiles, also fell silent under Ukrainian fire, their destruction akin to ripping holes in Russia's strategic naval cloud. How did Ukraine pull off such a precise strike? The answer lies in their high-tech drone operations, meticulously targeting these expensive, layered defenses. The S-300V, known by NATO as the SA-12B giant for its advanced missile capabilities, remains a cornerstone of Russia's air shield. Although not the newest, it's still worth hundreds of millions and crucial for defending Russian skies. Its components include missile launchers, sophisticated radar systems, and command vehicles, all built on tracked chassis borrowed from tanks like the T-72 and T-80. These units are mobile, resilient, and deadly when operational, but Ukraine's tactics are now turning them into vulnerable targets. The recent hit on the launcher, a 9883 variant known as the Gladiator, was no accident. This model, usually tasked with targeting aircraft, cruise missiles, and drones, is equipped with 4 medium-range missiles and a radar system. It works with a command vehicle, coordinating multiple targets simultaneously, all controlled from a central hub. When Ukrainian drones managed to destroy the Gladiator, it wasn't just about a single missile system, it was about undermining Russia's entire aerial defense posture. How much longer can Russia afford to lose these expensive platforms? And what does this mean for the future of the air war? Each missile launcher, radar station, and reloading vehicle uses advanced tracked platforms derived from the same chassis as Russian tanks, making them formidable but not invincible. Since the conflict began, Ukraine has successfully hit at least 359 Russian surface-to-air systems, destroying 269 of them. Out of nearly 8,000 radar and missile-load vehicles, dozens have been lost to Ukrainian strikes. Each hit leaves Russia more vulnerable, exposing the cracks in their layered defense walls. But the real question remains, how many more of these systems can Russia replace before their skies become open battlegrounds? The modern face of the Russian air defense forces is a complex web of technology, long-range missile systems, radar networks, and reloading trucks, all working in tandem. Yet, as Ukraine's drone campaigns intensify, each attack reveals a sobering reality: Russia's formidable layers of defense are not invulnerable. These systems, once thought unstoppable, are now being systematically dismantled from within, piece by piece. What happens next? With each successful strike, Ukraine edges closer to neutralizing Russia's aerial shield. Meanwhile, Russia's remaining stockpiles, probably around 50 operational S-300V systems, face relentless assault. Will these once unmatched defenses hold their ground, or are they slipping into vulnerability? The coming days could witness a dramatic shift where modern drones and tactics make the mighty missile bunkers obsolete. The sky is no longer a safe fortress, it's a battlefield where every piece of technology could be the next to fall, forever changing the course of this conflict. In recent weeks, the world has been on edge, watching diplomatic efforts unfold like a high-stakes game of chess. The news buzzed with whispers of a potential peace plan, but behind closed doors, tension crackled like static in the air. Rumors swirled about secret negotiations, surprises, and betrayals. Meanwhile, the battlefield roared to life with unstoppable fury. On the front lines, Ukrainian forces are fighting with relentless determination, striking back at Russia's formidable defenses. Just days ago, they scored a shocking hit and attack targeting some of Russia's most crucial air defense components. A drone strike took out a vital missile launcher and 2 radar stations, crippling part of Moscow's layered shield. What does this mean for the war's future? How are Ukrainian forces turning Russia's high-tech defenses into Swiss cheese? Let's delve into this fierce attack. During a stealthy night operation, Ukrainian drones zeroed in on a Russian S-300V missile launcher, an expensive, strategic piece of the puzzle. Situated near the front lines in Donbass, it was on active duty at the moment of impact. The strike wasn't random, it was calculated and precise, an effort to weaken Russia's control of the skies over occupied territories. The drone soldiers destroyed not just the launcher but also 2 radar stations, slicing into Russia's command and control system like a hot knife through butter. But what exactly are these components, and why are they so critical? The S-300V system, known by NATO as the Giant, may not be the newest, but it's still a beast worth tens of millions. Forming a vital backbone in Russia's defenses. Developed during the Soviet era, it's designed to intercept aircraft, cruise missiles, and ballistic threats from a distance. Russia still depends heavily on it, especially since the newer S-400 and S-500 systems are still being phased in. The recent Ukrainian strike targeted key parts, namely, a missile launcher and 2 radar stations. The launcher, the heart of the system, can shoot down enemy threats hundreds of miles away. The radar stations, classified as 9S-15 and 9S-19, detect incoming threats, tracking over 200 miles out. When these are destroyed or disabled, Russia's ability to defend its airspace crumbles, like a fortress losing its walls. Imagine the scene: high-pitched whine of drones, the subtle hum of engines in the darkness, the rush of the wind as missiles soar. When they hit, a muffled explosion echoes, fire and smoke billowing into the night sky. The radar stations flicker out, losing their targets, their signals fading into silence. This is a battlefield where every second counts, every strike a blow to predator and defender alike. The weapons systems involved are complex yet brutal. The missiles, like the 9M8-2 and 9M8-3, are giants over 30 feet long, weighing thousands of pounds. They're packed with fragmentation warheads designed to obliterate high-speed targets. The launchers, built on tracked chassis from tanks, are sophisticated, automated, and quick to respond, coordinated by command vehicles with crew members managing up to 70 targets simultaneously. Ukraine's relentless pushes aren't just random hits, they're part of a systematic effort to dismantle Russia's layered defenses piece by piece. Each strike weakens Moscow's aerial dominance, pushing the front lines into chaos. But will these bold attacks be enough to shift the tide? Or is Russia's vast arsenal too deep, too entrenched? The truth is, Ukraine is making a calculated stand. With only a few S-300V systems remaining in operational condition, every loss hurts, yet their resolve grows stronger. As more Western weapons flow into Ukraine, including advanced missile systems, the battlefield's landscape could change even more rapidly. But for now, the Soviet-era giants still pack a punch, and Ukraine's strikes have shown the world that even the mightiest defenses can bleed. What secrets lie within Russia's remaining missile stockpiles? How much longer can these aging giants hold the line? Each day, the war's chessboard shifts, one side advancing, the other defending fiercely. As smoke clears and the night settles, one thing is certain, this ancient yet deadly technology remains a formidable foe, and Ukraine's daring strikes could be the start of a new chapter in this relentless struggle for control. Recent weeks have been filled with tension and uncertainty. Headlines scream about peace talks and diplomatic chaos. Rumors swirl of secret plans, hidden agendas, and unexpected betrayals. Amid all this, a fierce battle rages silently. On the front lines, Ukraine is making a surprising move, targeting Russia's most formidable defenses. Can they turn the tide? Or will this be just another chapter in an endless war? In a shocking turn, Ukrainian forces struck deep into enemy territory, hitting critical components of Russia's air defense system. Footage released shows a night raid on November 29 that changed everything. They targeted a Russian S-300V missile launcher along with two vital radar stations. This wasn't just a stray missile, it was a calculated assault aimed at crippling Russia's aerial shield. The destruction was precise and costly, a clear message that Ukraine refuses to back down. Let's dive into what was hit and why it's a game-changer. The Russian S-300V, known as the SA-12 Gladiator or Giant, isn't their newest toy. Yet, it's still essential, a fortress guarding the skies. Worth tens of millions of dollars, this system is vital for defending against aircraft, cruise missiles, and ballistic threats. Despite its age, Russia keeps modernizing and exporting these systems. Today, they rely heavily on the S-300V to challenge Ukrainian drones and missile strikes, especially in the frontline regions like Donbass. The recent attack targeted a specific piece and 983 missile launcher, a crucial part of the S-300V setup. The timing was perfect. The launcher was actively defending Russia's airspace at the moment of impact. Imagine the roar of the drone's engine cutting through the night, the sharp zap of explosions as the missile launches were destroyed one after another. The Russian system's layered defense was shattered like slicing a block of soft, ripened cheese. But what makes this event so significant? The strike didn't stop there. Ukrainian drones also obliterated two advanced radar stations. These radars detect incoming threats and guide missiles, they are the brain of the system. Without them, defending the skies becomes nearly impossible. Destroying these nodes effectively blinds Russia's layered air defense, turning their formidable shield into a Swiss cheese fortress. Ukraine's intelligence suggests that each hit significantly reduces Russia's ability to control airspace, an act of tactical sabotage that could shift momentum. What about the equipment itself? The S-300V system is a complex network, built on tracked chassis derived from old Soviet tanks. Its core includes missiles, launchers, radars, and command vehicles, all working in harmony. The large missile launcher holds powerful missiles like the 9M83 and 9M82, capable of intercepting targets at hundreds of miles away. The radars, like the 9S15 and 9S19, scan vast skies, detecting threats high and fast. All these pieces operate together, controlled by a central command vehicle, tracking dozens of targets simultaneously. It's a system designed for defense yet vulnerable when hit in key spots. Ukraine's efforts over recent years paint a vivid picture. After acquiring the remnants of the Soviet-era arsenal, Ukraine installed and maintained as many as 300 launchers. But the war's toll has been heavy, over 270 systems destroyed or damaged, missiles expended, and stocks dwindling. Since 2014, Ukraine has painstakingly rebuilt these defenses, battling against the odds. When Russia launched its full invasion in February 2022, Ukrainian forces had only about 100 operational S-300 versus. They fought hard, using these systems to intercept Russian ballistic missiles, risking everything to hold their skies. Russia's response? A relentless campaign to neutralize Ukrainian defenses. By April 2022, at least 21 Ukrainian launchers had fallen. Missiles were running low. Replacing them was a nightmare. Only Russia manufactures these long-range missiles, and long-term supplies were uncertain. The situation turned dire by December 2022. Ukraine sought more S-300 systems desperately, but the flow of Western arms introduced new options: lasers, mobile missile launchers, even advanced Patriot systems. Still, the S-300V remains relevant. Despite dwindling stocks, Russia's arsenal isn't depleted. Surprisingly, they might still have around 50 operational systems, with some estimates suggesting fewer. Remember, at the war's onset, Moscow's stocks were aging, many near their expiration date. But with ongoing production and stockpiles, Russia keeps their layered defenses alive. Vadim Skabitsky, a Ukrainian defense analyst, once explained the number of missiles depends on their current use, a delicate, ongoing calculation. Now, imagine the chaos on the ground and in the air. A battered, malfunctioning shield, shattered radar screens, and a relentless storm of Ukrainian drone strikes. As the war drags on, only one thing is certain: Russia's layered defenses are not invincible, especially when targeted with precision. Will Ukraine's daring strike mark the beginning of a new phase? Or is Russia's might simply too vast to overcome? The future remains uncertain, but one thing is crystal clear: the fight for control of the skies is far from over. Recent intelligence reveals Russia's alarming reliance on outdated missile stockpiles, some over 35 years old. These missiles, once thought obsolete, are still silently creaking through storage, ready for deployment. Shockingly, without proper disposal, thousands are scattered across Russian territory, fueling fears that they could be used in ongoing conflicts for at least 3 more years. This raises a vital question: are these relics still capable of wreaking havoc? Despite the passage of decades, these aging missiles remain integral to Russia's layered air defense system. Instead of fully discarding them, Russia continues to process, store, and occasionally deploy these aging yet dependable tools. The numbers are staggering: around 7,000 missiles stored, many in storage for 3 to 4 decades. While official sources tell us they are nearing obsolescence, recent strikes suggest otherwise. How can these ancient systems be so resilient, especially when they are still being targeted by Ukrainian forces? The key lies in Russia's complex, multi-tiered defense network, built to create nearly impenetrable zones over its vast territory and even over occupied Ukraine. This system leaves attackers chasing ghosts, with each layer reinforcing the other in a relentless tug-of-war. Long-range, medium-range, and short-range systems form a web of interlinked defenses: radars, electronic warfare units, combat aircraft, all communicating seamlessly under a unified command. Long-range systems like the S-400, S-500, and the venerable S-300V float at the outermost edge, creating a protective bubble that extends up to 500 miles. They are the shields of the empire, designed to deny access and keep enemy aircraft far away. But the middle layer is no less formidable. The S-350V system plays a crucial role fighting drones, cruise missiles, and standoff weapons with a range of 37 to 74 miles. Capable of carrying 12 to 16 missiles ready to go, it acts as a vital bridge between the distant outer defense and the close-in point protection. Imagine a network so intricate that it feels almost alive, constantly adjusting, adapting, and defending against evolving threats. Yet, recent strikes by Ukrainian forces show that even these layered defenses are vulnerable. The older S-300V systems, once thought to be relics, continue to face destructive hits, suggesting that their role remains significant in the ongoing deadly game. Each blow weakens Russia's grip, but how long can these ancient yet persistent defenses hold the line before they finally crack? The answer remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: beneath the surface of aging technology lies a fierce, relentless effort to control the skies. In recent weeks, the world has watched with bated breath as efforts intensify to end the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Diplomatic efforts swirl around leaked peace plans, high-stakes meetings in distant cities, and fleeting glimmers of hope. Yet, despite promising words from leaders, the battlefield remains a chessboard of layered defenses and relentless strikes. Behind the scenes, one of the most critical fronts is the sky, not just with fighter jets, but with sophisticated missile systems designed to control the airspace. Ukrainian forces have launched a daring nighttime attack that has shaken Russia's air defense network to its core, targeting a vital component of the enemy's layered shield. Imagine a stealthy drone zooming through the darkness, guided by unseen hands, heading straight for a high-value Russian missile launcher. On November 29, this small but mighty drone struck with surgical precision in the Donbass. The target? A Russian S-300V launcher, a key part of their air defense formidable enough to threaten any intruder. Ukrainian intelligence released footage showing the moment it was hit, an explosion illuminating the night sky, the sound of metal tearing apart echoing across the silent landscape. This missile system, known internationally as the SA-12 Gladiator or Giant, isn't just a piece of hardware. It's Russia's backbone against aerial threats, ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, aircraft, all vulnerable to its long reach. Worth tens of millions, sometimes over 100, the full S-300V battery is the backbone of layered defense. Especially before newer systems like the S-400 or S-500 come online. Ukraine's attack didn't just destroy a launcher, it aimed to disable an entire line of defense. But what about the radars? Two NIOBSV stations, essential for detecting and guiding missiles, were also destroyed. These radar stations are not ordinary, they operate in ultra-high frequency bands, capable of spotting even the stealthiest aircraft. They're the eyes and ears of Russia's aerial shield, providing vital data to intercept incoming threats. To understand the significance, picture a radar station with a tracking range over 200 miles, able to detect low-flying drones, incoming missiles, and even stealth aircraft, an indispensable guardian in the sky. The NIOBSV radar is part of Russia's sophisticated layered network, which includes other systems like the Nebo-M, Gamma series, and more. These radars feed targeting data into missile units, allowing coordinated, long-range strikes. Now, consider the payload of these missiles: powerful, high-speed, destructive warheads designed to obliterate targets in seconds. The 9M8-2 missile, over 32 feet long and weighing 10,000 pounds, carries a blast fragmentation warhead capable of knocking out entire missile batteries with a single hit. Yet, Ukraine's strike didn't just aim for hardware, it aimed to strike a blow to Russia's ability to control its skies, to make the layered defenses more like Swiss cheese than an impenetrable fortress. How does Ukraine manage such precision? Using a combination of tactical drone swarms, real-time intelligence, and daring operational tactics. Ukrainian forces target what they can destroy: weak spots and critical nodes in the enemy's network. Each strike chips away at Russia's air dominance, forcing Moscow to rethink its defense strategy. The aftermath of these attacks raises countless questions. Will Russia's layered defense withstand the relentless pressure? How long can they keep their radars and missile systems operational before Ukrainian hits become more frequent and devastating? And what's next in this relentless war of attrition, where every piece of hardware, every radar station, and every missile counts toward control of the skies? One thing is clear: the battlefield has entered a new phase. Precision, knowledge, daring, these are the new weapons. This game of layered defenses is more than just hardware, it's a battlefield of wills, technology, and strategy. As Ukraine targets Russia's most valuable assets, the question lingers: how much longer can Moscow hold its layered shield intact? The upcoming weeks may hold surprises that could shift the entire conflict in ways no one saw coming. Imagine standing in the shadows of a battlefield where unseen enemies lurk, their coordinates ticking away in the depths of a hidden radar fortress. This is where the critical battle for air supremacy is fought: quiet, relentless, and deadly. Central to this struggle are the sophisticated radar stations that keep watch over the skies, hunting for stealthy targets like the stealth bombers and elusive fighters that slip through radar undetected. One such marvel, the NIOBSV radar system, is a mobile powerhouse built on a 4-axle truck chassis. Its roar of engines and the scent of diesel fill the air as it springs into action within minutes. 3 trained operators command this beast, which tirelessly tracks hundreds of air targets at once: aircraft, cruise missiles, even stealth drones. With a range stretching over 300 miles and the ability to see aircraft soaring up to 40 miles high, this radar acts as the eyes of a vast defensive network. Russia's strategic advantage depends heavily on these stations. Deployed discreetly across crucial regions like Crimea and Donbass, they form the backbone of a no-fly zone, coordinating with long-range systems such as the S-300V and shorter-range defenses like the Pan-CRS-1. These radar stations are more than mere equipment, they are vital assets, expensive and rare. Only 6 units were ever delivered under a 2016 deal, each valued at millions. Losing just one isn't merely a scratch, it's a blow that cripples a significant portion of Russia's layered defense. Yet, these systems are no ordinary technology. They are thick with complex components, many of which are tightly controlled or under sanctions, making any replacement an arduous process. Production, if it even continues, is slow, possibly just a few units each year. Since the system's debut in 2016, the number of operational stations remains a mystery, classified and guarded by secrecy. Today, the cost of each unit might be estimated near $100 million, an investment that Russia cannot afford to lose lightly. So what happens when this powerful sentinel is struck down? How does Ukraine execute such a precise attack on a system so heavily guarded? The answer lies in the ongoing game of cat and mouse, a relentless pursuit where stealth drones, like the elusive Phantom, disable vital parts of Russia's defenses during night operations. This isn't just a war of bombs and missiles, it's a strategy of electromagnetic dominance, where every radar shot, every target destroyed, shifts the balance of power in this clandestine battle. And as the fight continues, a haunting question remains: how many of these armored eyes are left standing before Ukraine's relentless strikes? The confrontation isn't just about weapons, it's about the unseen, the sensors, the signals, and in this high-stakes game, even a single lost radar station can change the course of history. Recent weeks have been marked by intense diplomatic efforts to end the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Headlines have brimmed with news of peace proposals, leaked plans, and high-level negotiations in major cities like Miami, Abu Dhabi, Geneva, Moscow, and Brussels. Behind the scenes, diplomats grapple with stubborn positions, each side holding their ground, making a peaceful resolution seem distant. Meanwhile, the battlefield remains relentless, with the war raging across land, sea, and air, showing no signs of easing. On the front lines, Ukraine has ramped up its strikes against Russian energy infrastructure and military targets. Recently released footage reveals a crucial success: a precise attack crippling key components of Russia's air defense network, a missile launcher plus 2 radar stations. This isn't just a random victory, it's part of Ukraine's methodical effort to dismantle Russia's layered defense system, turning it into a scattered, fragile structure. Imagine slicing through a ripe piece of cheese, holes appearing unexpectedly, weakening the entire structure from within. That's exactly what Ukrainian forces aim to do, piece by piece. It all started on the night of November 29, when Ukrainian drones meticulously hit a vital S-300V missile launcher and 2 NIOBSV radar stations in the Donbass. The missile launcher, an essential part of the S-300V surface-to-air system, was actively defending Russian skies at that moment. This attack was not just a strike, it was a calculated blow designed to diminish Russia's ability to control the airspace over occupied territories. The fact that it was on active duty underscores the precision and tactical brilliance behind Ukraine's evolving drone warfare. Now, what exactly is the significance of these components? The S-300V, known by NATO as the SA-12 Gladiator or Giant, might not be Russia's newest or most expensive system, but it's undeniably powerful. A full battery can cost tens or even over $100 million and remains vital for layered air defense, especially while more modern systems like the S-400 and S-500 are still being phased in. This system was designed to counter aircraft, cruise missiles, and even ballistic threats, providing a marooned barrier of protection intended to keep enemy aircraft at bay. When Ukraine strikes a Russian S-300V battery, especially in the front lines, it exposes the system's vulnerabilities that had been hidden behind layers of protection. It's like striking at the backbone of an opponent's defense, one piece at a time. And how does hitting these components affect Russia's defenses? The answer is devastating. The S-300V isn't just a missile launcher, it comprises multiple key parts: the launchers, missiles, command vehicles, radar systems, and reloading trucks. Each component depends on sophisticated technology on wheels or tracks, powered by heavy diesel engines, designed for rapid deployment and high precision. Losing a missile launcher on active duty isn't just losing equipment, it's like cutting out the eyes of a beast, suddenly less aware, less responsive. With such losses mounting, Russia's ability to monitor and defend its airspace deteriorates rapidly, creating dangerous blind spots for its ongoing campaign. More specifically, the Ukrainian strike hit the 9883 or SA-12, Gladiator launcher, crafted to target aircraft and drones at ranges of about 45 miles, reaching up to 15.5 miles in altitude. It carries 4 medium-range missiles, all highly effective but extremely expensive. The very act of destroying such a unit reduces Russia's protective umbrella dramatically, leaving gaps for Ukrainian strikes to penetrate deeper. What about the radars? These are the eyes that detect threats from afar, guiding missile launches with incredible precision. The 9S-15 radar, which scouts targets over 200 miles away, and the 9S-19 sector radar, focused on high-speed and low-signature threats, are vital for situational awareness. Destroying these radars means removing Russia's early warning system, blinding its defenses. It's a crippling blow, like blinding a predator in the wild. Each lost radar station shrinks Russia's control and leaves its assets more vulnerable than ever. Ukraine's careful, coordinated strikes aim not just to destroy individual units but to systematically erode Russia's aerial defense. When the radars and missile launchers are taken out simultaneously, it's as if the enemy's entire eyes and hands are being cut away, leaving their forces disoriented and uncoordinated. This strategic depletion means fewer resources to respond to Ukrainian drone swarms and missile strikes, clearing a path for Ukrainian forces to advance, attack critical supply routes, or secure territory. This ongoing damage isn't just tactical, it's strategic. Russia's remaining air defense systems, many already outdated or nearing exhaustion, are struggling to keep pace. The destruction of multiple radars and launchers shrinks their detection horizons, making it easier for Ukraine to strike deeper into Russian-controlled areas. Russian commanders are forced to rely on older, less capable radars, increasing vulnerabilities and risking cascading failures in command and control. Just imagine the consequences if losing one radar or launcher already hampers Russia's ability to respond. What must their collective pain be when multiple units fall? Every attack further degrades their command, control, and coordination. It's no longer just about a single target destroyed, it's about the systematic weakening of a formidable defense network, cracking the armor from within. And with each blow, Ukraine gains an advantage in the race for aerial dominance. In the grand chess game of modern warfare, Ukraine is now aiming to dismantle Russia's layered defense piece by piece, targeting radars and missile systems. These strikes undermine the enemy's ability to defend their skies, making future Ukrainian operations more feasible and deadly. The fight for control of the air is intense, with each destroyed unit bringing Ukraine closer to breaking through. As the war continues, these attacks reveal a painful truth: Russia's once formidable air defenses are more fragile than they appeared. The damage reveals how a smaller, resourceful opponent can exploit weaknesses and slowly, relentlessly chip away at a more powerful adversary. The future remains uncertain. But one thing is clear: the ongoing destruction of Russia's radar and missile systems has shifted the battlefield dynamics. The question remains, how much longer can Russia withstand these onslaughts? Each loss accelerates Ukraine's push deeper into enemy territory, threatening the entire foundation of their aerial defense. The ongoing fight is about more than just machines, it's about control, strategy, and the relentless pursuit of victory in a war where every detail counts. The battlefield is alive with danger and innovation, an unending clash of technology and willpower, where even a single destroyed radar station can shift the balance. The implications are staggering. Each piece falling apart exposes cracks in Russia's military infrastructure, opportunities Ukraine desperately needs to capitalize on. As the strikes continue, the landscape of aerial warfare is transforming, each success rewriting the rules. The war's next chapter remains unwritten. Will Russia manage to patch its defenses fast enough, or will Ukraine's precision strikes finally turn the tide? The answer is hidden in the fog of war, but one thing is certain: this relentless push will leave a lasting mark, changing the course of the conflict forever. In recent weeks, a dramatic shift has gripped the battlefield. Ukraine's daring strikes are crippling Russia's air defenses at their very core. Imagine the scene: a quiet night over the war-torn Donbass disrupting the ominous silence with a sudden explosion, sparks flying, metal tearing through the cold air. Ukrainian drones, stealthy and precise, launch a relentless attack on Russian strategic targets, aiming to dismantle the enemy's shield one crucial component at a time. On November 29, just a few nights ago, a targeted strike unfolded with deadly accuracy. Ukrainian forces, operating amidst darkness and chaos, managed to destroy a crucial missile launcher belonging to the formidable S-300V system, along with 2 radar stations, 2 high-value, costly keystones of Russia's anti-aircraft fortress. The missile launcher, the backbone of Russia's layered defense, was reportedly on active combat duty at the time, its destruction sending shockwaves through enemy lines. The sense of precision was palpable. The operation didn't just happen overnight. It was a carefully orchestrated effort to weaken Russian control over the skies. But what exactly did Ukraine damage? And why is this a game-changer? The target was the 983 missile launcher, part of the S-300V family, a system NATO calls the SA-12 Gladiator or Giant. Not the newest, not the most modern, yet still a powerhouse worth tens of millions, possibly over $100 million, integral to Russia's current defense network. Its loss is a visible crack in Moscow's aerial armor, especially as their plans to upgrade to the more advanced S-400 and S-500 systems are still far from complete. The S-300V was designed for long-range combat, a guardian capable of knocking out aircraft, cruise missiles, and ballistic threats. Developed during the Soviet era and still produced today, it remains a key part of Russia's layered air defense. Its role? To stand guard at the rear, defending vital territories against incoming threats. As Ukraine's forces strike in the front lines of Donbass, the sight of a destroyed launcher suggests that Russia might be relying on shorter-range, more vulnerable systems to fill in the gaps. Could this mean Moscow is increasingly on the back foot, trying to patch the cracks in their defensive armor? But the battle doesn't end there. Ukrainian drones struck two additional targets' radar stations known as the 1L-125 and IOBSV. These radars are the eyes of the S-300V system, detecting and tracking threats from miles away. Without them, Russia's defenses become blind, clueless to incoming attacks. So, how crucial are these stations? Extremely. They provide the critical intelligence needed to target and engage threats effectively. Destroying them reduces Russia's ability to respond swiftly or accurately, turning what was once a formidable defense into a fragile, piecemeal barrier. Tracking the losses reveals a grim tally. Over 350 Russian surface-to-air missile systems have fallen, 269 completely destroyed, dozens damaged, and many abandoned or captured. The S-300V, once a symbol of invincibility, is now increasingly vulnerable. Each destroyed radar or missile launcher shatters Moscow's strategic advantage and raises urgent questions: how much longer can their defenses hold? And what's coming next in this relentless war of attrition? The stakes could not be higher. As Ukraine's forces keep chipping away at Russia's layered defense, each successful strike reduces the enemy's aerial dominance. Does this signal the beginning of a larger collapse of Russia's air shield? And how will Moscow respond? The battle for control of the skies is reaching a boiling point, and every shattered radar and missile system is a blow to Moscow's confidence. The story is still unfolding, but one thing is clear: Ukraine's methodical, high-precision strikes are rewriting the rules of engagement. The once overwhelming Soviet-era defenses are turning into nothing more than a fading echo and a mental cheese of holes, messy and vulnerable. As this war rages, the fragile balance hangs in the air, waiting for the next shockwave. The question remains: how long can Russia maintain this layered defense when each piece is slowly falling apart? In recent weeks, headlines have been dominated by intense diplomatic efforts, as global leaders desperately try to broker peace between Russia and Ukraine. High-stakes meetings in cities like Miami, Abu Dhabi, Geneva, Moscow, and Brussels have revealed promising words, yet the core positions remain worlds apart. The world watches with bated breath. Will a peace deal ever materialize? Meanwhile, on the battlefield, the war rages with brutal intensity. Russia ramps up pressure on the ground, while Ukraine retaliates fiercely with long-range strikes targeting Russian energy and military hubs. Recently, footage has surfaced showing Ukraine's precision crackdown on critical Russian air defense components. Imagine the silence of night broken by sleek combat drones silently gliding through the dark, targeting expensive radar stations and missile launchers destined to disrupt and dismantle Russia's layered defenses. On December 2, Ukrainian intelligence released vivid footage: a nighttime assault in Donbass, striking a vital Russian S-300V launcher and two IOBSV radar stations. These attacks, carried out on November 29, aimed to cripple Russia's command of the skies over occupied territory. As the camera zooms in, you can see the pinpoint accuracy and explosive burst revealing the destruction of a cost-heavy missile launcher, still on active duty when hit. The scene is tense, metal parts sparking and crumbling in the cold night air, focusing our attention on the strategic importance of these targets. But what are these pieces of equipment that Ukrainian drones are destroying? The answer lies in their deadly purpose. The S-300V, a cornerstone of Russia's air defense, is a formidable yet not brand-new system, worth tens of millions, possibly over $100 million. It's designed to shoot down aircraft, cruise missiles, and ballistic threats. To Ukraine, dismantling these systems means weakening Russia's ability to defend its airspace, turning their layered defenses into a melted slice of aged cheese. Today's strike targets reveal the fragility of Russia's air shield. The targeted missile launcher, a key component of the S-300V, sits at the front line of the conflict. These systems are part of a complex network: missile launchers, surface-to-air missiles, command vehicles, radar stations, and reloading trucks, each vital for maintaining control over enemy airspace. Russian S-300V components are mounted on tracked chassis, borrowed from T-72 and T-80 tanks, powered by robust 840 horsepower V84 diesel engines. They can reach speeds of 31 miles per hour, covering up to 300 miles, an impressive feat for a piece of military machinery. The missile systems come in two primary varieties, one for intercepting ballistic missiles, the other for engaging aircraft and smaller threats. The larger, called SA-12B, is equipped with two long-range missiles, capable of reaching up to 62 miles and operating at altitudes of nearly 19 miles. The smaller, the Gladiator, is designed for targeting aircraft, drones, and cruise missiles, though shooting down cheap drones with costly missiles can quickly become unprofitable. Its four medium-range missiles reach 45 miles, with altitude limits of 15.5 miles. The missiles they fire pack a punch: over 10,000 pounds of high-precision explosives, designed to annihilate high-speed ballistic targets or enemy aircraft. The command post, manned by a crew of 7, controls multiple launches, tracking up to 70 targets simultaneously with radar systems. These radars, the 9S-15 for early warning and the 9S-19 for tracking fast, low-signal targets, are crucial for intercepting incoming threats. Supporting all this machinery are reloading vehicles, fast, tracked trucks carrying spare missiles, ready to replenish the launchers within an hour. These technical marvels, operating since the late 1980s, have seen many upgrades yet still echo their Soviet origins. Ukraine inherited around 300 of these systems after independence, but post-2014, most fell into disrepair. The Maidan Revolution, Russia's annexation of Crimea, and ongoing conflict drastically reduced their operational numbers. By 2022, only about 100 remained functional, an increasingly vital resource as Ukraine struggled against Russian missile barrages. Russia's stockpiles included thousands of S-300 missiles, many nearing their expiration. Facing Ukraine's resilient defenses, Russia has continued to deploy the remaining systems, but they are not infinite. Today, estimates suggest around 50 S-300V systems remain active, with some already retired or out of commission. The ongoing destruction of these units by Ukrainian forces underscores their importance, each strike eroding Russian air defense capabilities. As the battle persists, the strategic landscape shifts. Ukraine's relentless targeting of radar stations and missile launchers aims to leave Russia vulnerable, unable to defend its skies effectively. The sound of missiles firing, the scent of burnt metal, and the cold stiffness of night all surround these fierce confrontations. With each strike, Ukraine pushes closer to dismantling entire layers of Russia's layered defenses. The biggest question remains: how long can Russia sustain this dwindling arsenal? With dwindling missile stocks and rising losses, the clock is ticking, and Ukraine's precision strikes continue to cause shockwaves in the defense apparatus. The stakes are clear: crucial components are being destroyed step by step, leaving Russia's once mighty defenses teetering on the brink of collapse. Now, picture this: as Ukraine's brave drone pilots target yet another critical radar station, a surprising twist unfolds. Reports suggest Russia may be secretly deploying a new, more advanced missile defense system, one that could change the game entirely. Does this hidden weapon threaten to turn the tide back in Russia's favor? Or will Ukraine's relentless ingenuity finally crack the core of Russia's aerial shield? The answer might be closer than we think, and the implications are staggering. The ongoing chaos, the sudden revelations, and the relentless strikes, this story is far from over. As the world watches, the true battlefield secrets are slowly emerging. Incredible developments could redefine the war's outcome. What comes next? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: the fight for control of the skies continues. With no room for mercy, and each strike brings a shocking new chapter. In the heart of the ongoing conflict, Ukraine's relentless push to weaken Russia's defenses continues to surprise even the most seasoned analysts. Recently, a covert operation shattered the core of Russia's layered air defense system, an attack so precise, it changed the game forever. Imagine a silent drone slipping through the night, targeting the very backbone of Russia's aerial shield, a missile launcher worth tens of millions, destroyed in a flash. But the damage didn't stop there. Surrounded by a deafening silence, Ukraine's drone strike took out not just one, but two crucial radar stations. These radars, tiny yet vital, called NIOBSV, serve as the eyes of the entire system. Without them, Russia's defenses become blind, deaf, and vulnerable. How exactly does hitting these radar stations send shockwaves through Russia's air control? Let's peel back the layers. Now, picture the Russian S-300V, known to NATO as the SA-12 Gladiator or Giant. It's neither the newest nor the most expensive, yet it remains a critical piece of Russia's defense puzzle. A full battery, comprising launchers, missiles, command units, radar stations, and reloading trucks, can cost upwards of $100 million. These systems were designed to counter aircraft, cruise missiles, and even ballistic threats. They stand guard in strategic rear positions, defending vital areas from air attack. Today, Russia primarily relies on these systems to fend off Ukrainian drones and missiles like Storm Shadow, Neptune, and others. When Ukraine strikes, they aim specifically at these long-range defenses, knowing that if they disable them, the entire air defense network crumbles like a house of cards. And that's exactly what just happened in Donbass. The recent attack targeted a missile launcher, one of the key components, while it was actively simulating combat duty. This precision not only underscores the skill of Ukraine's forces but also highlights how vulnerable even the most sophisticated systems can be. Imagine the moment, a missile streaks through the night air, silent but deadly, destroying its target with pinpoint accuracy. The sound of the explosion, the shockwave rattling windows, the smell of burnt metal lingering in the air, all tell a story of a blow delivered exactly where it hurts. But the real story unfolds in the aftermath. Ukraine's drone struck two IOBSV radar stations, crucial for detecting threats at long distances. Without these radars, Russia's ability to track incoming objects becomes unreliable. The entire chain of command, tracking, targeting, launching collapses into chaos. It's like trying to fight with your eyes closed, your weapons useless. How can one drone strike cause such chaos? That's the power of precision and the importance of each component in this complex defense network. Let's delve into what makes these pieces so vital. The S-300V, besides its missiles and radar stations, relies on a command post, a brain that manages targeting and missile launches. It can track up to 70 targets simultaneously. Its radars, like the 9S-15 and 9S-19, scan for threats over hundreds of miles, feeding vital data back to the command center. And the missile loaders, heavy trucks with adjustable cranes, are responsible for rearming the system quickly to keep defending. Now, consider the missile itself, a devastating weapon designed to destroy high-speed ballistic targets, with warheads weighing over 330 pounds, capable of ripping through aircraft and missile shields. The system's complexity is staggering: automated launches, sophisticated radar tracking, rapid reloading, all coordinated by a crew of skilled operators. What's astonishing is how Ukraine's small but lethal drones outmaneuver Russia's layered defense. They target the critical nodes, launchers, radars, command posts, all at once. With each successful strike, Russia's aerial shield becomes increasingly fragile. Over the years, Ukraine inherited these systems from the Soviet Union, some decades old, many in disrepair. Yet, as recent attacks show, even these aged systems can be deadly when precision-guided. What will happen when Ukraine continues to chip away at Russia's defenses? Could this be the turning point? And how long can Russia maintain its vast stockpiles of aging missiles and systems before they are rendered useless? The answers lie in the shadows, silent, unseen, and yet profoundly impactful. This ongoing battle is not just about technology. It's about strategy, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of victory. Each drone strike, each destroyed radar, brings Ukraine closer to shifting the balance of power. The question remains, how many more components can Russia afford to lose before their entire defense network collapses? And are they prepared for the storm that's coming? Thank you for joining us on this riveting journey.